Hello everyone, welcome to the Joe and Matt Show. This show is going to be about us reviewing all types of movies and video games to basically, for us to let you guys know whether or not it's worth your money and your time. So, the first movie that, our first review is about a movie called The Bye-Bye Man. And it was fucking garbage.
It was disgusting. It had the trailer, for one, hyped up it too much.
Yeah, I agree. The trailers, it made it seem like it was such a good horror film, and that it will actually get people kind of scared in the theaters.
Mm-hmm.
And honestly, when a horror movie makes you start laughing throughout, that's when you know it's not a good horror film. And it was just a total disaster. I had big hopes for this movie. I think we both did.
Yep.
Because we were talking about it for months, and it was terrible. It was absolutely
terrible. Could have been better, definitely. The direction of the movie. The concept of it was played out to perfection, but with the concept, you also have to direct it. You have to also put that into perspective and make a good movie out of it, not a shitty one.
Yeah. So yeah, I guess we'll jump right into how the movie went. 1969.
In the great city of Madison, Wisconsin.
Yes, Madison, Wisconsin. It starts off in a very colorful looking town.
Yes.
Very classy, elegant, yeah.
Yep.
And we see this man pull up in a car into a driveway, and his name is Larry. And
yes,
he comes out and starts talking to this woman named Jane. And he basically asks Jane if her and her husband have been talking about a certain name. They never said the name, but obviously we all know what name he was talking about. And basically when she says, she keeps telling him no, that they never said anything to anybody. And he seems like a normal, guy. He's wearing a nice, shirt and tie. He looks very classy. Businessman. And out of nowhere, this guy goes in his trunk and pulls out a fucking shotgun.
This dude pulls out a shotgun, breaking and enters into a house. Because I do believe she shut the door.
Yes, she did.
So,
and he blows out the locks and he bashes through the door.
Did that. Then, some more chit-chat. Jane, or whatever her name was, still denying it.
Yeah, and Jane's husband's name is Rick. And, basically, Larry keeps shouting at them, who have you told the name to? Who have you told the name to? Acting like a completely insane Rick.
Shoots both of them.
Yes, kills Rick and Jane.
Kills both of them. And then the lovely neighbors, of course, hear this commotion. They come over, and they see Larry with his shotgun in hand.
Her name was Giselle, the neighbor.
Yes.
Yes, Giselle.
Yes. Then, as he's walking towards them with a shotgun, he repeats, who have you told? Talking to perspective of Giselle.
Yes.
And she doesn't say anything.
And then kicks it down. The same thing as he did with Jane and Rick's house.
Okay. So, kicks the door in. Still same thing. Who have you told?
And then all we hear is a gunshot. And then present day, with the three main protagonists.
Yes.
Elliot, John, and Sasha. Elliot and John are basically best friends from when they were little. And Sasha, I believe Elliot met when they were in college. College girlfriend.
They rented out a house. Of course, as in any horror movie, the house is creepy as fuck.
Yeah.
And all the furniture is in the basement, locked away.
Yeah.
And
so
they organize the house up to their liking, and they throw I guess a welcome party, or
Well, first, before we get to that,
Okay.
I want to talk about the characterization that happened from when we meet these three, Elliot, John, and Sasha. From the second that you meet John, he is a douchebag. He's just an asshole.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't like him from the start. He's very arrogant. The jokes that they try and make, or that he tries to make, the character, are terrible. They feel very forced. They feel very, like, misplaced.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I wasn't laughing at all. No one in the theater was laughing, actually.
Well, I think it was only us two and like two other people.
No, actually, no, it was quite a few people in there. It was about halfway full of theater, actually, by the time the movie started. No one was laughing, and it's meant to be a joke. It wasn't funny at all. So we start off, and we start off with, immediately seeing that John is a dick,
Mm-hmm.
and that he has a thing for Sasha.
Yep.
And so yeah, we and they go to the basement. They find the furniture, and first, before the house party, the same night that they find the furniture, Sasha and Elliot, Elliot's in the bathroom or something, and Sasha hears noise outside, which is basically the first attempt to show the audience that the house is haunted,
Mm-hmm.
or the house, there's something paranormal in the house. But it was very, it was done very poorly. Like, it was done so obviously and, like, kind of stupid.
Denise ventured all alone upstairs
Yeah.
into Elliot and Sasha's room. She walks over to the little nightstand next to the bed and looking at it, and I think she started to walk away.
But then the coin
Then
fell.
the coin fell.
Yeah.
And then I think she was looking at it, and she put it back. And I think it fell again.
Oh no, I'm sorry, she does. I'm sorry. She gives it to Elliot. She comes out of the room and she goes and gives the coin to Elliot. Then Elliot goes upstairs and puts it back. Now, when Elliot does that, he opens the nightstand and finds the riddle, whatever it is.
Don't think it, don't say it.
There's a riddle that all it is over and over again. Don't think it, don't say it. Don't think it, don't say it.
Well, it's not really a riddle. I mean, it's just a saying. That
saying,
You have to keep repeating, otherwise this being starts to take over your mind.
Yeah. Essentially, it's to, counteract the By My Man.
Yes.
And him trying to mess with your mind.
Yes.
Now, he, reading this, he turns over the page, and he sees
the page. I thought it was like inscribed into the drawer.
But then there's a piece of paper on the back.
Oh, yeah.
The piece of paper on the back said the Bye Bye Man. He hasn't said it, but he sees it. So, basically, the next scene is we see Sasha's friend Kim. Kim is kind of like a psychic in a way.
They're doing a seance.
Yeah.
Which is,
basically kind of like a ritual to see if there's evil energy or evil beings in the house.
So they start to do this. Elliot, at this point, I think they did start to hallucinate. Did they?
No, not yet.
That was after.
That was after. So Sasha feels some evil presence, and she tells the group this. She tells them, she doesn't like this.
Mm-hmm.
She doesn't like this. And then she starts actually hearing, don't think it, don't say it. Something is telling her, don't think it, don't say it. She never saw the drawer that was inscribed with that. And then, I believe it was Sasha, who said, don't think or don't say what. And then Elliot goes and says, the Bye Bye Man. And this was one of the funniest fucking, honestly, moments in the film. Because it was so, like, it was funny. It was, like, stupid funny. Like, the Bye Bye Man. And then everything goes out in the house.
Oh, yes.
And then Kim is just on the floor, like, in, like, a fetal position. Like, I'm assuming because, like, she's doing a seance, so she felt the evil power. Every member that was in that seance starts having hallucinations. So, I believe it was Elliot who starts having the first. No, it was John and Sasha who starts having the first hallucinations.
Yeah.
And then Elliot as well. It's kind of always happens at the same time. Elliot keeps hearing, like, scratching outside the house, and
he does find scratching.
Yeah, and he actually goes outside, and on the bricks there are actually claw marks, and as time goes on, there are actually more and more and more. So, you know, it's not like it was there before.
Sasha
it
and
keeps
John,
on
they just
coming.
hallucinate about each other.
Yeah, essentially they're hallucinating about, like, almost romantically being with each other. Which also plays on Elliot's mind too, a little bit throughout the movie as well.
Yes.
So Elliot has a dream about a train, and this train was seen throughout the movie too. The train was seen from the beginning as well. A train that had a number on it, 4214. I didn't see the importance of that number though. Like, there was nothing that said 4214. Because it was, it was bold on the train, so I figured it might be important. But Elliot starts realizing what's going on, that they're all being haunted by this one supernatural being. Now, this is where me and Matt talked about the concept of the movie. Do you want to?
The concept, as I said before, it was a good idea, but it wasn't played out as good as it could have been. Having this bye-bye man basically almost control your thoughts.
Yeah.
And that leading to hallucinations, which leads to you freaking the fuck out.
Yeah.
Leading to whatever it is you see, which leads to you doing
Freddy basically whatever he wants.
Yes. Controlling you.
Yeah, he's like kind of like, as I explained it right after we saw the movie. He's like kind of like a puppet master. He plays. Really?
This video is not sponsored by Pepsi.
Okay. Basically, he's like a puppet master. So he plays on your mind. He plays with your emotions. He makes you see things that aren't really there and aren't really happening. And he basically forces you to do his will.
Yes.
Essentially. And which is a cool concept because every horror movie we've ever fucking seen is the same old bullshit. Mm-hmm. It's always, this woman or man is possessed and they go out on a killing rampage. Or, there's a psychopathic murderer going out and killing everybody like Michael Myers or Jason, and all this same horror movie bullshit. And this is a change for once in the horror movie industry. Mm-hmm. Where it's like, this he's not actually doing anything himself, which is so cool. And we see how dangerous Elliot goes to his school library after figuring out that they're being haunted, and he's trying to find files on what's called the Bye-Bye Man, and he goes into he asks the librarian,
Miss Watkins.
Mrs. Watkins is the librarian, and Elliot tells her the name, the Bye-Bye Man. He's trying to...
So now with that, he has just spread this cloud over her.
Yeah.
Which she is now infected with it.
Yeah, so essentially anyone who hears the name or thinks the name...
is automatically...
his power grows more over them.
Yes.
Essentially. Which is, again, the concept is amazing. I loved it, but executed so fucking poorly. So, he tries to find files on it, and nothing comes up.
However, when he does search the saying, don't think it, don't say it, he gets a hit on an article by this man named Larry, who is the same Larry from, what was his last name?
I have it here actually. No, I don't have it here. Sorry, but the Larry from the beginning of the movie
Is the author of
this article.
Referencing a similar event back in the 60s.
It was before he went crazy, essentially.
Yeah, before he went crazy.
Because as soon as he started doing research on it, and they flash back to this, as soon as he starts doing research on the Bye Bye Man, obviously he starts going crazy. He starts getting possessed by him. We find out that Larry, and it flashes back to the first scene from the movie, where Larry kills all those people. Now, the second house they never showed him in the beginning. They finally show it again. And this time when he goes in, he kills both those people in the house. I believe, no, it's actually 3 people in the house he kills.
I think there's
I believe there was 2. I think there was 3. But he kills multiple people again. And he goes into their kitchen. And when he turns around, we have the first glance at the Bye Bye Man.
Mm-hmm. With his little...
With his hound. Now, the hound is CGI garbage. It looked so stupid. It looked like a clump of shit. A big clump of shit.
It was all hairless.
Yeah, it was like a hellhound.
Yeah.
But his concept, his look, I thought it was really cool. Like, he just looked like this hooded, creepy demon.
He almost looked like that guy from Harry Potter.
Yeah, he almost looked like Voldemort in a lot of ways. He really did. I didn't think of that. He did. He wants to erase the Bye Bye Man out of existence. Everyone who's ever heard his name has to die.
Mm-hmm.
That's what we find out. So Elliot, finishes reading this story, whatever, and he goes back to as he's leaving the library, he sees Sasha and John getting in the car together.
Mm-hmm.
Now the Bye Bye Man, it's real. They actually are getting in the car together.
Yes.
But in his head, the Bye Bye Man is making him think that they're going back home to basically have sex or to basically do something. As they're driving past, Kim is hallucinating, and she sees a family that's been in a car wreck on the train tracks, and the train is coming. It's not really there. It's obviously, like I said, it's a hallucination. And Kim is so consumed by it that she gets out of the car. She runs over there, and she gets struck by the train.
And then he's driving along the road.
Mm-hmm.
He sees, I think it was John, the first time.
Yeah.
John was in the middle of the road. Hallucination. Knows it's a hallucination, so he looks back. Turns back around.
He feels like he's beating the Bye Bye Man.
Yes.
For once.
Turns back around, and Miss Watkins is there standing in the middle of the street. She gets screened.
She just shows up.
She just shows up.
In the middle, like, she knows exactly where he's gonna be.
Oh, wait, no.
Yeah.
Well, no, yeah, obviously, but before that, I think she called Elliot up.
Yeah, she called Elliot. That's right.
Asking to meet
if they can meet
at their house.
At Elliot's house,
and then we see that Miss Watkins has killed her family.
She murdered her whole fucking family with a butcher knife.
Because of Mr. Bye Bye Man. So then Miss Watkins gets creamed by the car. Elliot loses control, flips over.
Yeah.
Gets out. Then starts... I think he started to run.
Yeah.
Back to the house. Because Sasha and John...
Already there.
Already there. And when he gets in...
Oh, hold on 1 second. I just want to say, how the fuck did she know where he was? Like, specifically where he was.
I don't know.
And she gets fucked up. Like, she gets destroyed by that car.
Yep.
But it was so confusing. Like, but I kind of figured it was going to happen because when he was looking back, they showed the camera, going back in the car. And it was stalling for a little too long. So I knew something was going to pop up. Didn't expect it to be her. Because I thought it was going to be like a deer or something in the road, But as randomly, she just shows up. And it's just so confusing of how she even got there. To be honest with you. So, yeah, they get back to the house. Elliot gets back to the house, and
he hears,
you don't have to actually do it, bro. Oh my
Basically,
god.
here's John and Sasha getting it on. the hallucination, obviously, walks into John's room, hallucinates them having intercourse. John said something, and then Elliot starts going berserk.
He gets a baseball bat.
He gets a baseball bat,
and
cracks John in the head with it.
He cracks him right in the fucking head hard, too.
Hard.
Almost kills him,
Yeah,
honestly.
Almost. I think he knocked him unconscious.
Yeah, he did. He knocked him straight unconscious.
And then after that happened, he comes out of his hallucination, sees that they weren't having sex,
Yeah.
and then he drags John to...
Sorry about that. Something...
Technical difficulties, as usual, because nothing in this world can work as advertised.
Sorry about that. So, getting back to the review...
Anywho.
Go ahead, Matt.
They're hallucinating so much. No, they were hallucinating that they... Weren't they like each other? No! John was hallucinating that Sasha was Kim after she got hit by the train.
Yes.
And Sasha was hallucinating that John was someone. Elliot?
Yeah.
Because they all started hallucinating that they were each other.
Basically.
So then they're running from each other. They end up in the bedroom. Elliot comes home, hears this commotion, runs upstairs, sees John beating Sasha. Hallucination.
And he has scissors in his hand.
He has scissors in his hand. And,
he breaks up the fight, basically.
breaks up the fight.
He tackles John off, and now...
Takes John off, and
him and John are now
Yes.
Wrestling.
Yes.
And Elliot has a gun that was given to him by Larry's wife.
Yes.
And she gave him the gun, basically, because we didn't say this before.
Yes. To kill her.
To kill everybody.
Yes.
Who has ever heard the name.
Mm-hmm.
So John takes out the gun. Mm-hmm. Elliot takes out the gun.
Shoots John.
Shoots John.
John falls onto him. Elliot pushes John back. Lo and behold, it's fucking Sasha. Because he was hallucinating that it's John, it's Sasha, Sasha's John. It's a whole fucking mess.
Basically, he just killed his own girlfriend.
And then...
John is on the floor.
There's a knock at the door.
Hold on.
Oh.
John's on the floor with stab wounds. Sasha was stabbing him this whole fucking time with the scissors.
Yes.
The whole time. She was overpowering him because of how strong she became from the Batman. Mm-hmm. And there's a knock on the door. And
it's Elliot's brother!
With the niece.
With the niece, because the niece has to go potty, and she can't apparently hold the shit.
Mm-hmm.
So...
Oh, before we say that, John threw the dresser out in the woods.
Yes.
Remember? Before the fight happened.
Yes.
Sorry, we didn't mention that.
I think we did.
No, we didn't.
Well, I said he threw it out, so...
Oh.
Yes.
Continue.
Okay. So he goes downstairs, tells the brother that they can't come in. Because I don't know why he didn't let them in. Because
the Batman is there.
Okay, yeah.
Batman finally appears
Yes.
in the house completely with his hound. And at this point, Sasha is dead, John is dead, and Elliot's the last one remaining.
Well, no, John's not dead.
Oh, well, yeah, I was going to say that at the end. But.
Okay.
So John ends up not being dead at the end. We'll explain how.
Yeah.
But Elliot is basically running away now from Batman, trying to, escape. But he can't. He's there, Batman. And Elliot knows the only way to save his brother
is to kill himself.
And he ends up putting the gun to his head and pulling the trigger.
Yes.
So Elliot ends up killing himself.
The house catches on fire.
Yes, the house. It just ignites.
Yes.
I don't understand how. It just ignites into fucking a ball of flame.
Combustion, yo.
From what?
I don't know.
The scenes in this movie.
Evil. In the house.
No, the scenes in this movie are so confusing and make zero sense. The whole fucking movie. And somehow John survived the fire.
Yep.
Because he's God.
Yep.
Apparently.
Yep.
He survives the fire. The EMTs and the police officers get there. The officer that Elliot spoke to is on the scene as well. And we find out that John's alive.
Mm-hmm. And I do believe that he eventually... She asks him, what happened, blah, blah, blah. He eventually... I think he does say that,
We're left in the cliffhanger, essentially, because we don't know.
Well, we can assume.
We can assume that he told her the name.
Yes.
It's never, we never hear it. They don't show it.
Yeah.
Basically, it cuts from that scene to a scene of Elliot's brother and Elliot's niece
driving along,
driving down the road.
And I think she has the coin.
She has the coin in her hand, and the father asks where she got that.
And she says from the dresser that was in the woods.
Yes.
And she tells the dad that there was some writing inside of the dresser.
Mm-hmm.
And he asks her, well, what did the writing say? And she said that, Daddy, you know I can't read in the dark.
So, thank God, at least for them, they're safe.
Yes.
Obviously this movie, it keeps... That was a cool ending, I think. That was it was like, oh, thank God, the little girl didn't fucking see the name. So that I liked, actually. That was one of my very few... That's it. Everyone, John's acting fucking sucked. Kim was okay. I mean, she's okay, I guess. But the acting in general was horrible. Mm-hmm. The characterization, you didn't care about the characters.
Nope.
I didn't care when Sasha died or when Elliot died.
Nope.
I didn't care, did you?
Not at all.
I really did not care.
No.
The crappy CGI hound was fucking terrible. And they overplayed the craziness.
Yeah.
Way too much.
Yep.
They overplayed them going insane way too much. A little overboard a lot of the time, especially with John and Sasha. Mm-hmm. So yeah, the things I like basically were the concept, the style that the Bye-Bye Man was in, mm-hmm. his character creation, and that's pretty much it. And we also don't know anything about the Bye-Bye Man, where he comes from.
Mm-hmm. There's no backstory.
There's no backstory to this fucking movie at all, besides Larry's backstory.
Yes.
Which tied in pretty well, mm-hmm. but still, it was like, even that was a little weak and lacking. Mm-hmm. It was a very weak movie. It was very disappointing, to say the least. I think final verdict, what would you give final verdict for this movie?
Out of 10 or out of 5?
This is our first video, so all of our final verdicts are going to be out of 10.
Okay. I give it a...
1 being the lowest, 10 being the highest.
I give it a 3.
3, I agree.
3 out of 10.
3 out of 10 for this movie.
Yeah.
If you have spare time and some, money that you want to spend to go see a movie, this is the last movie that you should see.
Yes.
It's terrible. There are so many good movies out there right now.
Especially the one we're going to review next.
Yes, the next movie we are going to review is Split, and I have nothing but praise for that movie. Yep. Split is out. Star Wars is still out. The Rogue One, if you want to go see that. Live by Night, which we still have to see.
Yes, we do.
But it looks great. Hopefully it is. But yeah, do not go see this movie, guys. It's a waste of your money.
Terrible.
And a complete waste of your time.
Yep.